In last video, we discussed about the second law of thermodynamics and concept of entropy. And you know that to know the spontaneity of process, it is necessary to determine entropy change for system as well as surroundings. But it is very convenient to express the spontaneity of the system or spontaneity of the process in terms of system alone. And therefore, J.W. Gibbs introduced a new thermodynamic function called Gibbs energy. So in this video we are going to discuss the concept of Gibbs energy. This is new thermodynamic function and it is used to predict the spontaneity of the process. So in order to predict the spontaneity of reaction, it is necessary to consider change in entropy for system and change in entropy for the surrounding. And actually already I told you it is very convenient to predict the spontaneity on the basis of considering thermodynamic property of system. So Gibbs energy, it is a new thermodynamic function of the system alone which predicts the spontaneity of the process. And mathematically Gibbs energy, it is given by G is equal to H minus Ts, where H is enthalpy, T is absolute temperature and S is a entropy of the system. As enthalpy and entropy are the state functions, Gibbs energy is also state function. It is state function. It depends upon initial and final state. Now the change in Gibbs energy at a constant temperature and pressure, first of all it is obtained from Gibbs energy of initial state and final state. If Gibbs energy of initial state is G1 and that for final state is G2, then G2 minus G1, this is the change in Gibbs energy. And at a constant temperature and pressure, the Gibbs energy, it is given by this relation delta G, it is equal to delta H minus T delta S. Here T is a constant, temperature is a constant, so delta G, it is equal to delta H minus T delta S. This S is a entropy of the system. Now next point is Gibbs energy and spontaneity. Already we know that the entropy change total or universe, it is the sum of change in entropy of the system plus change in entropy of the surrounding. Now again important thing is, if positive delta H plus delta H, if it is enthalpy change for the system, then minus delta H, this will be the enthalpy change for the surrounding. Meaning of this is, suppose 10 kilojoule of heat is absorbed by the system. Meaning of this is 10 kilojoule heat must be goes away from the surrounding and enter into the system, and therefore for system delta H will be plus 10 kilojoule and for surrounding it will be minus 10 kilojoule. It is like that, and therefore if plus delta H is the enthalpy change for the system, then minus delta H, this will be the enthalpy change for the surroundings. Now keeping this in mind, we can write delta S surrounding, this is equal to minus delta H upon T. Now already you know that delta S system, it is equal to Q reversible upon T. Now here Q reversible means heat supply to the system at a constant or at an absolute temperature T. Now here for surrounding, as minus delta H, this is the enthalpy change for the surrounding, we can write delta H surrounding, it is equal to minus delta H upon T. So instead of Q reversible, we are using term here delta H. Now from this equation number 1 and 2, actually we are going to substitute the value of delta S surrounding in this equation number 1. So we get delta S total, this is equal to delta S system minus delta H upon T. Now by rearranging the terms, or sorry, before that, if you multiply each term by minus T, then this term will be minus T delta S total. This is equal to minus T delta S system, minus minus, this will be plus, this T and this T it will cancel, so plus delta H. So multiplying each term by minus T, then we get so this equation, this becomes minus T delta S total, this is equal to minus T delta S system plus delta H. Now rearranging the terms, we can write minus T delta S total, this is equal to delta H minus T delta S system. Now we know that delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S system, and therefore from these two equations we can have delta G is equal to minus T delta S total. So delta G, it is equal to minus T delta S total. So from this equation 3, it is clear that smaller the value of delta S, greater is the delta G, because delta S term is having negative sign and delta G term is having positive sign. So smaller the value of delta S, greater is the delta G. Okay, so from this equation 3, it is clear that delta G and delta S total, they have opposite signs, and therefore lesser the value of delta S total, greater is the delta G, and therefore when delta G is less than 0 or negative, at the same time when delta S total it is greater than 0 or positive, then process becomes spontaneous. Similarly, when delta G it is greater than 0 or positive and delta S total it is less than 0 or negative, then system is non-spontaneous. And third condition is, if delta G is 0 and delta S total is 0, system or process is at equilibrium. So this is what is Gibbs energy and spontaneity. So spontaneity depends upon Gibbs energy, and Gibbs energy, it is considered for system alone and not for surroundings, and therefore it is very convenient to express spontaneity of the process in terms of Gibbs energy, which is the thermodynamic property of system alone. Now next point is spontaneity and delta G, delta S, or delta G. We know the relation delta G is equal to delta H minus T delta S system. Accordingly, we have 4 possibilities. First possibility is, suppose delta H has a minus sign, that is reaction is exothermic, and delta S is having positive sign. If delta H is negative and delta S is positive, then this delta G, it must be negative. It must be negative. In that case, the system, or sorry, the process will be spontaneous at all the temperatures, at low temperature as well as at high temperature. This is one condition. Now second possibility is, suppose change in enthalpy is a negative, that is exothermic reaction, but entropy change is negative. In this case, two possibilities are there. At low temperature, delta G will have negative sign because T delta S will be less than delta H. So at low temperature, delta G will have a negative sign from this equation, and at low temperature system will be spontaneous. Always you keep in mind, whenever delta G is negative, system is spontaneous. Another possibility is at high temperature, the delta G may have a positive sign, and at high temperature system will be non-spontaneous. Now third possibility is when change in enthalpy has a positive sign, that is endothermic reaction, change in entropy also has a positive sign. Again, there are two possibilities. At high temperature, T delta S, this term, it will be greater than delta H, and therefore at high temperature delta G will be negative and system will be spontaneous. So process will be spontaneous at high temperature, whereas at low temperature this delta G will be positive and therefore process will be non-spontaneous. Next condition is if change in enthalpy is a positive, that is reaction is endothermic, change in entropy is negative. In this case, as both the thermodynamic functions, that is change in enthalpy and change in entropy, both are non-favorable for spontaneity. You know that when delta S is positive, then the system will be spontaneous, and when delta H is negative, system will be spontaneous. But here delta H is positive and delta S is negative, so both the thermodynamic terms are not favorable for spontaneity. Now if this condition is there, delta G value, it will be always positive and system will be non-spontaneous at all the temperatures, at low temperature as well as at high temperature. So these are the four important conditions. So always you keep in mind, when delta G is negative, system is a spontaneous, and when delta G is positive, system is non-spontaneous, and the value of delta G, it is greatly affected by the values of delta H and delta S, and this equation is very important. And summary of this point is, what is delta G? It is the Gibbs energy, and it is calculated from the initial value of Gibbs energy and final value of Gibbs energy, that is G1 and G2. So delta G is a G2 minus G1, and delta G, it is a thermodynamic function. By knowing its value, we can determine or predict the spontaneity of process, and delta G, it is considered for system alone, need not to be considered for system and surrounding both. But on the basis of entropy, if you want to predict the spontaneity, we need to consider delta S for system as well as surrounding, and therefore Gibbs free energy, it is convenient thermodynamic function to predict the spontaneity of the process.